Siema, zapraszam do oglądania kolejnego odcinka na moim kanale. Mam nadzieję, że będzie Wam się podobać.
Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
How do you like it at the mill, Fritz? It's got to be better than the mines.
It's worse here than at Scarlet's. There you could disappear without anyone noticing. But here...
But why would you want to disappear? Nimoy isn't here.
No, he's not. But the local foreman is an even bigger ass.
I'm not sure that's possible.
You better believe it. I'd like to pay him back for everything and drown him in the river.
Drowning? What's he done to you?
It was the first or the second day here. We had a disagreement and I told him off. And then, all of a sudden, we're fighting and that fucker just throws me in the river. I nearly drowned.
Well, how did you get out? I thought you couldn't swim.
I can't. They pulled me out. I was up to my waist.
Well, I'd be pretty fucking angry too. So you want to pay him back?
Exactly. I don't give a shit about anything around here, but that bastard's in need of a good trouncing.
What about the others at the mill? Are they awful?
The miller's an old fool. He believes every word that comes out of Thomas's mouth. It's hopeless. And then there's the miller's daughter. She's a pretty lass, and kind with it. And what can she do? Nothing. Not that it stops Matthew gonna see her. But it's Thomas who's the root of the problem.
Do you think he's jealous? Is she a sweetheart?
He might make puppy dog eyes at her, but most of the time he just struts about like a peacock. I really don't think she's the problem.
And what do you want to do about it? Do you think you can come...
No fucking chance. Matthew hopes so because he likes it here. It's true the work's better than the mines, but the pay's worse.
So how do you plan on dealing with it? Leaving?
Perhaps. But first, I want to give Thomas a proper trouncing. I mean a real thrashing.
And you think that will help?
Maybe. Maybe it'll knock some sense into that fat head of his. Or he'll be too frightened to mess with me.
That might help.
So why don't you arrange a fight with him? If we win, he'll leave us alone. Oh, we could...
What?
We could lure him off someplace far away and then wait for him. Maybe to play dice with Lawrence. He would have to go through the dark woods.
I'll think about it.
Temu się nie pod...
Jesus, what have you been up to?
I've heard you don't have it easy here.
So you spoke to Fritz then? I bet that wasn't quite how he put it.
No, not quite. Apart from Thomas's name, the rest was mostly swear words.
I can imagine. I've been hearing the same from him all week. The foreman here is a pain in the arse. He's trying either to wear us to the bone or force us to leave.
Always forcing you to work, is he?
If only. That wouldn't be so awful. But nothing we do is good enough for him. There's always some reason for him to yell at us.
I can imagine.
You know what it's like. We do too little, and it takes us too long, and what we eat's worth more than the work we've done, and it's no fun listening to that sort of shit day after day.
And the miller won't stick up for you. I would have thought all the yelling would drive him mad.
Not really. He trusts that loudmouth bastard more than us. He's got us down for a pair of parasites.
I see.
What's so stupid is the mill really needs us. They haven't had any hands here for quite a while, and the mill needs a lot of fixing. But with them around, we can't even get to work.
And you definitely don't... You don't ever provoke him?
I've already told you once, he's an arsehole. I'd say there's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to yell at us, he'll yell at us.
Have you tried talking with him?
What do you think? But that just sets him off. He starts saying we're practically bandits and what he's going to do about it. That gets Fritz going, and he starts yelling too, and
I'd never have guessed he's like that.
well, get a job here as a hand and you'll soon see.
And what does he do during the day? Does he work with you?
Good one. He keeps his eye on everything, but his hand only touches the saw when the miller shows up, which isn't that surprising.
Why?
The last time he did anything, he almost took his thumb off with a chisel. I wouldn't put an axe in those paws of his either.
So he's clumsy and arrogant. That's what you said about your last master, that Nimoy.
Aye, but at least you could sneak away from old Nimoy for a bit. No chance of that around here.
And what do you want to do about it? Just run away?
Actually, I'd like to stay here, at least for a bit. I never would have thought I'd like working in a mill, but not with him around. It's unbearable, and there's no one I can complain to. But you could.
Me? Do you think they'll listen to me?
They did once already, didn't they? They hired us because of you. You could have another word with them.
Back then, making promises was enough. Now, it will be worse.
You can forget about the miller. It's Thomas you need to convince. The miller takes his opinion seriously. So, will you do it for us?
No chyba będę musiał się wstać.
Fine. I'll try and talk to him.
I'm glad. But try not to get on his wrong side. You won't get anywhere with him then.
I'll keep that in mind.
See you later.
You meant to be in the monastery, lad. What are you doing here? You're playing truant
Damn
for
it,
the
I'm
monastery,
hungry.
aren't you? Good health to you.
So what do you think about the workers I brought you?
If I hadn't put in a good word for them, the miller would have thrown them out by now.
I heard them say something else.
So they're complaining, are they? I provide for them, and all they do is slack off.
Isn't it the miller who provides for them?
He can't manage the work anymore. If it weren't for me, there'd be nothing left standing.
But you need the help anyway. And they're pretty handy.
Maybe, but they're in no danger of overworking themselves. They act like they're too good for the mill, and I saw them eyeing up Jane.
Nothing strange about that. She's a pretty girl, and she's of an age to marry.
It's not marriage they've got on their minds. They'd have their way with her, then before her belly started to grow, they'd have run for the hills.
Look, we can reach an agreement. You need the mill fixed, they need the money. If they have peace to do...
But
And then they'll take their groschen and leave. The mines will open again, and the faster they get their money, the quicker they'll be gone.
do you really think I can trust them to do it? Will they do their work and leave? And leave
Of course. They're not interested in the mill. They just need the coin to pay their debts. Once they've got enough, they'll have no reason to stay here.
I never thought we could sort it out this way.
I've known them for a long time, and you can rely on them when it comes to this. Everybody will be better off.
All right. If they keep their part of the bargain, I'll even give them a few extra groschen. But woe betide them if they don't.
Spoko mordo.
God be with you.
Ogarnąłem.
Jesus, what have you been up to?
It took some doing, but I made a deal with him.
I'm glad to hear it. So we can stay here? He'll leave us be?
He'll leave you alone, but there are conditions. Once you finish your job, you'll vanish from here. But you'll get an extra groschen or two for your troubles.
And that's it? I thought... Never mind.
Oh, and you're to stop dallying with the miller's daughter. Keep on mucking about with her and you'll muck things up for yourselves.
The fucking bastard. He can go fuck himself. He'd better give us enough groschen to make it worth it. But I suppose I should thank you. You may have bought us some peace and quiet, and that's better than nothing. Here's something for your help.
Ginie mordo.
Good luck then.
Hey, how'd you... Good luck then.
Na młynarzu.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki.
Riki? You mean Hinek, the courier's son?
Maybe. Do you know where I'm...
He's not usually around here. Try asking at his home. But I hope you've got a thick skin. The old...
So you know this Hinek?
Not much, I confess. Most...
Why's that?
No one with a nose likes spending too much time around Tanners. And that Riki keeps back...
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a...
Why do they call...
He's a Tanner, isn't he?
True enough.
Well, Hinek's nature is no...
Why has he got such...
Well, like his old man. I heard he got a taste of the pillory in Ratai for thieving.
So a bit more than high spirit?
Just so. We're all honest folk.
Don't tell me there's not a single...
He's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches. Adela, I believe. Good luck to you.
Dziękuję bardzo. A, no tak.
What am I doing talking to a pauper like you?
I heard you've been seeing Hinek the town...
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman?
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about...
Aye, I've seen him often enough. I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Where can I find...
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to then?
I don't...
He goes to the...
What do you mean? There's no law against...
With all the footpads, looters, cumans, and God knows what other vermin around, it's not...
But Hinek doesn't have anything to do with those...
Oh, really? Then what does he do there?
Mushrooms? No. More like...
So Hinek is a poacher? That's...
Well, he was never much of one for an honest...
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some...
He said he has some hideout in the woods.
When did you last...
A few days ago. He came...
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came...
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was...
Can you remember anything he...
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. Aye, and then he was talking about...
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden.
I see.
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl, and if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married.
Did you go there for...
No, I've got better things to do.
Yes, I understand. Did he tell you...
He said he buried it at his father's small holding.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Okej.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for your son. Any idea?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you at least know where he usually goes? It's important.
Hinek shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick and Harry?
Your son is about to get into deep shit. I'm trying to find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
But this time his neck's on the block. He got mixed up with some very dangerous people. I have to find him.
All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away. He looked like he was in a hurry.
Ciekawe.
I've got an idea, but I don't know where it is exactly.
I don't follow.
Henrik makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
Well, it's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Thank you. I'd like to talk to you about...
I'm very busy.
Do you at least know any...
As far as I know, nobody...
I heard he's seeing some bath...
Maybe. He can't get it for free.
What can you tell me about the coin I found hidden behind...
Coin? What coin? What on earth?
A pretty pile of groschen nicely stashed away for a rainy day. If I'd known...
I don't know nothing about it.
And I suppose you know nothing about the bloodied gambeson your son hid there too. Of course it would be a shame to throw away such a valuable thing.
Behind my house, you say?
So you really don't know anything about it? Looks like you pulled the wool over your eyes.
How did he come by it?
He was paid to raid the Neuhof stud...
Jesus Christ, I heard about that.
Almost certainly.
He could have at least told me about the money.
Forget about that. Tell me where he is.
All right. He was here a few...
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea.
I don't follow.
Henrik...
Well, it's not much. Don't you have any clue at all?
I really don't know nothing about that.
How's that?
Because every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he...
I suppose.
Do you know who he sold?
No.
All right. What more? I know he didn't... How much time...
Well, he came and went...
So he probably went through...
I reckon. Go. And if he's really in as much... Try and find...
What are you doing here? You're playing truant from the monastery, aren't you?
From the monastery, aren't you? Good out to you, sir.
What's happening around...
Don't even ask. Things have gone from bad to worse. Now,
I want to ask about the courier's son, Henryk.
I'll ask someone else. I've nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Henryk's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
About the goods Riki owes.
What about it?
Well, supposing I settle the account for him and you stop dodging my questions and tell me what... How much is it?
Before he vanished, I paid him in advance for 5 heirs.
We can settle things right away. As it happens,
Let's see it then. Have you got it or not?
I've got that game.
Splendid. That looks pretty good.
I hear Henryk has a high...
Not exactly.
But...
But I happen to know it's a dark place. A cave or an...
How do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
How much game did he...
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry has something.
And do you know of any...
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. I'll be with you.
Myślałem, że to będzie... Bing, bing. Góry. O! Halo. Henryk dobył.
Jesus Christ, what am I to do? Not that I can expect any useful advice from you. At least, you've no more cares.
Need someone to talk to?
Fuck! Don't kill me. I can explain. I won't tell anyone. I swear, I've no one to tell anyway. Just please don't kill me.
I'm not planning to kill you.
You're not one of Runt's men.
No.
Then who are you?
Jestem ziomeczkiem.
I come here in the name of Sir
Oto ma historię.
Studfarm.
Got no idea what you're on about.
Save your breath. If you want any chance to escape the gallows, you better come clean, all right?
Jesus Christ. This will never be over.
So?
Fine then.
That Neuhoff raid of yours didn't turn out quite as planned, did it?
Depends on whose plan you're talking about. We were up to it to grab some loot and bugger off. Only Runt's cutthroats was there to shed blood.
What do you mean, Runt's cutthroats?
There were two gangs there, mine and Runt's. We was only there to steal, but they wanted to slaughter everyone.
But when you realised what they had in mind, you didn't have to go along with it, did you?
But we didn't know nothing, even though we were going to Neuhoff. They told us to keep watch on the courtyard while they were cutting the horses' throats. Jesus, that fucking vexed me. Their horses was the most valuable thing there. When I spoke up, though, Runt gave me such a bollocking I knew I'd better keep my mouth shut. And when they said we was going to kill anything that moved, then we knew there was no going back.
Did you know any of Runt's...
Not a one. They didn't talk to her.
I don't suppose you...
On the way to Neuhoff, Timmy told me he was at their camp with Pius.
Did Timmy tell you?
Somewhere in the woods. He didn't say nothing more. Thing is, Timmy's got quite an amount...
That gang of you...
Don't know what you want to know. There was 4 of us. Me, Timmy, Limpy...
I'm sure you did mischief enough.
He was the old.
What about the others?
Timmy's strong.
Who got your 2 gang?
Pius. He comes to us and says he's got this. That was a big deal, because mostly we just did small stuff. Hold up on the road now.
So Pius knew them?
I suppose, but...
Where did the rest of your gang...
You saw Limpy, right?
Yes, but he's no use to me now. Tell me...
I don't know nothing about Pius. He vanished in the woods, and I haven't seen him since. Timmy,
Which mill?
The windmill a bit north of Neuhoff.
Tell me exactly...
Well, we stormed... Meanwhile, me and Limpy had a sniff.
What did you find?
Smil, Sir Hanish's groom. I don't know why he was up and what he was doing in the stables, but we took advantage. Then it all fell apart at the seams. Quicker than you'd believe. Runt comes running up.
And it wasn't?
No, not in the least.
What happened then?
I'm gaping at Smil, stuck through and through, and I noticed this boy standing at the other end of the stairs. So me and Lubosh start running, because we caught up with the boy at the next farmhouse. I knock him to the ground, but he bashes me with some piece of iron so hard my head... Limpy grabs it off him and stands over him, with his bodkin in his hand, and I start praying. In the end, Limpy just gives him a kick and says, "Beat it, Ginger." And then Runt shows up at the gate and hollered.
What happened after?
We were waiting for that fool, Timmy. Same place as we met them before. Stupid fucking idea. But Pius didn't want to leave him by...
There was some different...
You could say that, yeah. They started on us right away that we were traitors. They knew we'd let some... They started trying to surround us, and we knew what was coming. But Limpy took his vodka.
Runt?
One of the others. Timmy broke free from them, and we all took to our heels. Luckily, they were so buggered from the raid, they didn't follow us for long. They just shouted that they'd...
That's all I need to know. So now what do...
Well...
Hey, over here!
O kurde, co? A, nie,
We've got to get out of here.
They're too close. We'll never outrun them. Fuck! At least they don't know I'm here. The two of us can take them by surprise.
No fucking way. I'm gone.
Look here. If you run, they'll catch up with you and kill you. And me too. Together, we stand a better chance.
Jesus Christ. All right. I suppose you're right.
What's going on there?
Who's there?
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Dobra, dawaj. You'll get one.
Gdzie? Dychę? Dzięki za oglądanie odcinka. Mam nadzieję, że się podobał. Załapkujcie, napiszcie komentarz. Do zobaczenia na streamie lub w kolejnym odcinku. Cześć, cześć.